Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Friday, June 23, 2023, 3:15 p.m. Eastern. I have a time for change or a reverse aging health call tonight around 9 p.m. I'm looking at some anomalies that are occurring. When we're caught, so to speak, in a storm, and the storm seems like it's everywhere, and we don't know most of the time to look for the center. We're caught up so much in the storm that we forget about the center. And of course, the center is the God that we are. Most of us are caught in the storm. You look at a cyclone, for instance. Find the center of the cyclone of life, and you'll discover deep, profound peace. When you look at the center of, like, let's just say a hurricane, or even a tornado, you look at the center, there's no chaos. You know, there's no chatter, there's no sound. It's completely still, completely silent. You know, and the Bliss planet, she has an interesting way of showing us what to do. Stay in the center. There's no reason to engage all of the stuff going on around. You see all this stuff, but you're in the center. And the stuff that's just high velocity, just whirling around you. Now, any time you could be drawn into it, you could just put your hand out and be sucked right into it. And all the chaos and all the suffering, all the pain. But we're kind of like so used to it that we figure it's just normal. It's just a normal thing to be in the storm. Life is a storm. You figure our minds, which are an illusion, often act like a storm of energy and information spewing out all sorts of thoughts, ideas about this world. It can make the world around us seem chaotic. At times exciting, boring, or way too much to handle. Your mind is like an overused machine that never gets a break and is always very, very, very busy. All day long, it's spinning around its thoughts, scattering 1,000 miles an hour about this and that. It's as if your mind is caught in its own cranks, wheels, and gears spinning in the same patterns for years that it once created but doesn't remember it did. If you're caught in the whirling mind, these turbulent thoughts can make your life appear as if it is off course. It can feel like you are being tossed in many different directions. And as your mind can throw out random harsh thoughts at you like, you know, hurry up, or you're no good, or, you know, this isn't going to work, or what am I having for dinner, or, you know, get yourself a real life, why did you mess up, The mind can be rude, mean, and make you feel inadequate. It can take you down these roads of thinking that it can make you think there is no happiness inside. So what do? You're not going inside if you're convinced that there isn't any happiness inside, that there isn't any God inside, there's no happiness, joy, and bliss inside. So you what? What do? You go outside. You seek outside. Now, there's a lot of people that live in the mind. Can you imagine that? Live in the mind is utterly, truly, and completely exhausting. It's a good thing that there are many ways to get off. With each of these thoughts slamming into you, you may notice that you have the choice to react to them or just watch them sail on by. By reacting to all of the crazy mind chatter, you will be thrown back into the tornado of life. If and when you choose instead to sit back from your mind, become the observer, you will discover that you can create a comfortable distance from every thought that passes by. Finding this observer in you is where you become the master of the winds of your psyche. Set the intention right now to recognize the personal nature of your typical storm. Now, see, the mind goes in and it creates all these illusions. You may notice what are the concerns, responsibilities, and fears created by the mind. There is really nothing that has to be done. You are connected with existence, and this is enough. You do not have to do anything or be someone special to continue to exist. Your mind may believe that something important needs to get done, or else you will die. Yet this is the type of fear-based thinking that creates those 300-mile-an-hour winds and a hurricane lifestyle. How many people have you come across that are at ease and they're not in a hurry? They're at ease and not in a hurry. They're enjoying every medium of this life. Now, we come to a point where we know that there's something that we know that we come across where it says you no longer have to suffer in this storm. You can find the oasis of calm that lies at the middle of each moment. The secret is to learn how to quiet the mind and reconnect with your divine nature. The easiest way to do this is to remain present to what is. This can be mastered throughout learning meditation. The more you meditate, the more you realize that you are not your mind and that you are infinite and untouched by any winds blowing around you. And people go, oh, practice meditation. Practicing meditation, it really just simply means sitting in silence, watching the crazy mind chatter as it comes and goes. It's like sitting and watching the distant clouds move across a peaceful blue sky background. Your true eternal essence is the blue sky. Your thoughts are the clouds. The more you observe these thoughts without buying into them or getting caught up in them, the more you detach and find this vast, infinite stillness inside of you. Over time, you will be able to recognize the silliness of getting caught in the mind and becoming truly freed from its grasp. Over time, you will be able to recognize the silliness of getting caught in the mind and become truly free from its grasp. It will be a glorious day when many of us, when we remain centered no matter what crazy storm is brewing around us. I've talked to a lot of people through the years, and it's like, why don't you try meditating? Well, it just hasn't worked for me. Well, then try a different way of meditating. Slow down whatever action you're doing, and be more present to the experience. You can do a walking meditation. You can do it while you're eating, drinking, a non-alcohol, of course, showering, even doing the dishes meditation. Don't give up on training your mind to find peace inside. It will be worth everything in the end. Now, if you have become so fixated on your thoughts that slowing down doesn't work, then it's time to use a stronger disciplinary measure. Several times during the course of a day, at random, right? Try this mind-stopping experience. And take a deep breath into your body. It's okay to take a deep breath right now. And before you exhale, whisper the message, stop, into your mind. Release the breath, and then let your body become solid and completely still like a stone statue. Let the breathing slow way down to where you may even stop breathing for a few moments and explore the stillness. Show the mind that you are the boss here. And let the frozen-like energy cease all physical activity inside. When the body finds stillness, the mind will soon follow. Just let everything come to a complete halt. Bring your attention inside on who or what is looking. Well, it might take only 30 seconds or more to find the calm, present, eternal observer. These moments are worth the price of finding peace in the center of your cyclone. It's just recognizing things. The mind's trying to just run the show, and you know that. So you say, hey, stop. You're not in charge here. And you watch what happens. It's inner. See, we're so trained on outer things. Yet we've gotten so, we just don't know. We've lost the understanding that we're the ones that literally run the show. And we run the show and we go with the flow. Okay? Run the show, go with the flow. And when your mind is really shooting all these thoughts at you. And you kind of go, That's not, no, not interested in that. Not interested in this. And then finally you tell the mind to just basically stop. Because it's always calculating, it's always doing something, it's always going to reconfigure, not satisfied with anything, has to keep going further and further. And it can get really chaotic for a lot of people. Now, what's the alternative is listen. You listen to the mind dictates to you, and all this, it's literally crap that it comes up with. See, and when you relax your body, I mean, naturally and genuine, not thinking, oh, well, I'm relaxed, but knowing you're relaxed where you're not interested in lifting one bone in your body. When you do that and the body does relax, the mind slows way down and literally takes a nap. We've been trained to believe that we've got to keep, this is the mind. Go, 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 get, go, 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 get, go, 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 get. And this is what we get swept up in. How many people do you believe are caught up in the mind and are literally walking in one direction with so many others, and they don't know where they're going? They have no clue. Why is everybody in such a hurry? Where are you all going? And they all look at you and they say, oh no. But everybody's going somewhere, so we thought we would follow. Isn't that right? You see all these people hurrying and scurrying, wanting to go somewhere, and they're all walking in the same direction, and there's so many, it's gotta be good. So I'm gonna do the same thing. And then after a while, after sometimes real long time, some of us start, as we're scurrying along and hurrying, and we start saying, if everybody doesn't know where they're going and they're all scurrying and hurrying, like the rabbit and, the turtle and the hare, then why am I doing that? See, then you start to question. And then you stumble across some other things and you start wondering and going, what am I doing here with all these people going somewhere that I don't even know where I'm going? I'm doing it because they're doing it. Well, I've decided I'm not going to do that anymore, and I'm going to slow way down because this pace is killing me. So we slow down, and we run the show and go with the flow. See, we go with the flow, run the show. We do that. We're not really concerned about tomorrow or yesterday. We're in the now because we know specifically that the now is all we will ever have. So we stay, and we're in the show and we don't know that we're running the show. And many of us don't go with the flow. Oh, that just seems, it seems like you don't care. You're just hanging out, and you don't seem really worried or stressed about anything, and you're just kind of floating along. Don't swim in the water, float in it. And then people, what? See, this is all connected. People start saying, you just messed up, right? You don't even know what you're doing. And then you turn around and say, oh, yes, I do. I'm starting to understand what this is all about. And when I start getting an inclination that I am not interested in running in this rat race again, and not now, not ever again, then I know I'm waking up even more. When my body's relaxed, the mind relaxes. That's what I want. I want the mind to relax. I want that chatter, those thousands and thousands of thoughts, to not be there. And the only way I can do that is let the body relax. Focus on the now. Focus on my breath as much as I possibly can. And we practice it, and we start experiencing changes and shifts. And first we'll say, oh, it's just coincidence, even though there isn't, even though there's no such thing as coincidence. Now, what do you believe is one of the most, we talk about it a lot, is one of the most powerful transformation energies on this planet? Every time any of us are spontaneously, out of nowhere, grateful for how this universe is deeply and eternally loving us, send out a high vibrational frequency that starts magnetizing even more abundance into your life. Each time you bathe yourself in the energy of gratitude, you expand the knowingness inside you that you are truly an abundant being who lacks nothing at all. See, you can see how we've been literally programmed to doubt ourselves, to at times berate ourselves, to believe things that aren't at all applicable or true. Therefore, you create them in your life. And when you say, what's there to be grateful for? Right? And I've had people say to me, there's nothing to be grateful for. They say that their life sucks, horrible. And I say, well, it's because you continue to create a life that sucks and is horrible. You ever heard people say, no matter what I do, it never seems to work out the way I want it to? It's because you're standing in your own way and you're doubting as you are asking for something from the universe. So you negate it. You don't know you're negating it, but you're in a negative frequency. You know, all of us have the choice to be grateful for what is. All of us. Yeah? Or not grateful for what is. Either way. We have the power to choose what kinds of thoughts and feelings we focus on and eventually manifest into our lives. Now, we can choose to adopt an unending attitude of gratitude or remain strapped to the judgmental, fear-based merry-go-round of the mind. Choosing gratitude is choosing freedom and will make our lives easier than we could have ever imagined. It will bring us such a vast experience of love that we will freely feel and experience our own soul. Embracing gratitude as a way of living our daily life is like opening the door to a brilliant new world where the sun is always shining its warmth inside your heart, wherever you are. You naturally feel the divine love and abundance. This is inside you and all around you. A heart that is brimming with gratitude does not allow the mind to be cluttered with ideas, opinions, and attachment to desires. It knows itself as the source of love itself. If you have trouble staying in touch with your heart's natural, grateful connection, you may have let your mind or an inner judge attempt to squash this flame of love. The fire is not dead by any means. It just needs a little stirring. The heart that is forever thankful always breaks free from the ego's contracted thought patterns. Its natural warmth is always able to receive and give love freely. Gratitude is one of the most enlightening life experiences we can access at any time. You'll always feel lighter and less burdened by the end of the day. When we practice directing this appreciation towards ourselves, others, in this world, there is a natural de-armoring process that happens. We start each day with shedding that protective armor around our hearts and opening up our hearts to this divine feeling of appreciating everything. Not just this, or this, but appreciating everything. Any time that you are not feeling gratitude, simply refocus on what you like, love, or appreciate about a situation. It's that simple. Gratitude is always within our reach. It is just a question of our focus and reining in our mind. If you feel that your shields are too thick, become quiet enough inside yourself to get in touch with the core of your heart. Create some time to relax and be very, very, very still. This will help you dig beneath the shields, resistance, wounding from the past. Use the breath as a vehicle to take you deeper inside so that you can go beneath this false protection. All armor is created for the ego, by the ego, and within the ego. All armor is created for the ego, by the ego, and within the ego. It is all unnecessary weight, since the soul is like sunlight and does not need defending. Once this armor is released, we will naturally feel a lighter, warmer feeling inside, and a deep state of gratitude will surface and pour through us into this world. Taking off one's ego armor can be tricky. Any moment that your mind gets derailed and goes down the dark path of frustration, victim story, fear, or complaining, stop it immediately and switch back to the gratitude track. It can be as easy as asking yourself, what's one thing that I am grateful for right in this now moment? Good news is that there is always at least one thing that you can be grateful for no matter what is happening in your life. Perhaps it's that you have the power to imagine a new you, your health, a good friend, or just that you are still breathing. Now, whenever we cannot see the silver lining around the dark clouds in our lives, we simply open our heart, breathe deeply, and then think about as many things as you can to be grateful for. In each moment, there are so many incredible things that you can be grateful for, large and small. To open your heart, relax, look at the bigger picture. And soon you will realize how truly and deeply and eternally loved you really are. You already are. Living in a state of constant gratitude doesn't take work. It simply takes more awareness. Gratitude is our most natural way of being when we are present. We connect with our natural essence and pure consciousness within. We can see and feel the divinity within everything. This is not something strange that needs to be learned like judging or juggling cantaloupes. It's as easy as taking a fresh breath of air. So make it your number one priority the next several days. I've made it my number one priority forever. As long as I'm in this body. Gratitude is our natural essence and pure consciousness within. We can see and feel the divinity within everything. This is not something strange that needs to be learned. So you make it your number one priority. And then you notice how much it is already a part of your life and what it will feel like to bathe in it 24 hours a day. Years ago, we used to have like gathering of people, always sitting at a round table, not a rectangular table, always sitting at a round table. And we would spend, each of us would spend quite a bit of time telling ourselves and each other what we can be grateful for. That's all we did. We didn't do anything else. We just came, we met, and we started talking about what we are grateful for. Now you could take it a step further where you have someone sit in a circle in the center, right? It could be on the floor, it could be outdoors, in the grass or in the woods, wherever. And you focus on that one person. And how many times have you ever done this? Let people know that if they cannot say anything authentic or true to their heart, they can simply soul gaze in just that person's eyes for 5 minutes. This is when you stare into the person's eye. Everyone takes turns looking directly into the eyes of the person in the circle and telling them why they are grateful for this person or giving them an authentic compliment. Then switch people so that everybody has a turn to be the person in the middle of the circle to receive gratitude. Let people know that if they cannot say anything authentic or true in their heart, they can simply soul gaze in just that person's eyes for 5 minutes while holding their hands. Every time we have done a gratitude circle, truly miraculous experiences happen. They occur in everyone's lives. This amazing experience is one that will raise your vibration and allow you to manifest the life you desire. Excuse me. There is a technique. I don't know if you'd call it a technique, but it is a direction that you can use. Because when we all go to bed, the mind, we've got just thousands of thoughts happening. So our mind isn't asleep. It's really active. But when you lay your head on the pillow, all you do is you say to yourself, I'm focusing now on the God that I am within this body. And you're focused on the breath, easy in, easy out. And you're in the now. And this is what happens. You're out like a light. You don't even know how you went out like a light. You may not even remember things. And you get in the habit of doing that. And you have no worries, no stresses, no anxieties, no fears. They're all gone. They all just vaporize. Because you're in the now, you're sustaining yourself in the now, and you're a complete statue and you're totally relaxed. Being physically still is absolutely paramount. It's not like being stiff like a board where you get really not too comfortable, but you're in a comfortable position and you just don't move. You are focused on the now with your breath, and you're letting things happen as they will. You're not embracing any thoughts from the ego mind. They can't, because they can't be in the now. Your relationship with everything will change. You will no longer look to the outside for answers. You will identify the fact that all the answers that you've ever inquired about are within. You recognize the fact that you do not need to be in the rat race, shuffling along with everybody else. You begin to discover who and what you are, that you're the God, the pure consciousness within that body. That's a fact. You begin to realize that you have this resident power. It's immeasurable. When we discover we are neither consciousness nor its content, we are the timeless source, the supreme reality. Trust that. Nisargadatta. People wouldn't worry about the future or worry about the past. We would be in a constant in the now. Focus on the breath. And we would be mastering the ego mind. And we would be at full peace. you begin to realize it's the mind that causes all of this disarray. It is the mind. Belief mechanism, the ego mind, which is a huge illusion. And then people, they'll ask people, what should I do? So you don't need to do anything. Focus on your breath and you're in the now. You're meditating. Where do we get this push that's constantly going on with the majority of us? Is gotta hurry, gotta go, gotta hurry, hurry. Because we feel guilty if we aren't doing that. You've ever been in this country, right? In different places, different states. And you come across the local populace of, you come into a state and you pull into a, let's say, gas station, and there's a few people there. When we have lack of consciousness, what happens? Worry is caused from a lack of consciousness, which can be shifted with a little mental discipline and focus. Reins on the mind are too tight on fear and too loose on love. The mental horses of the mind run wild when stress is present, worry, stress, fear. If you have been practicing the fine art of this for 20, 30 years, you may be numb to passion, pleasure, and freedom and have become a worry zombie. And to step out of that zone, you simply need to do one thing. Pull back on the reins of your mind. Steer those addicted horses back into your pleasure pastures, by focus, staying focused on trust, feeling the positive outcome you really want. You'll soon find that the mind is much happier, and its worried approach to living will leave your life stable. Now, when we go with the flow, right, the universe knows what it's doing. It is divinely intelligent and vastly creative. Now, just for giggles, what if the future was 100% perfect, exactly as it showed up, and there was nothing you could do about it? What if you could see the bigger picture of the next 100 years of your life and know that there was absolutely nothing you needed to change for it to learn what your soul came here to learn? How would it feel if you could surrender to trusting the future all the time? I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy, slow breath in through the nose. And an easy and slow breath out through the mouth. Remain still. You know you're an awakening being when in the midst of chaos and suffering, you are completely at ease. To arrive at this divine destination for 30 minutes today, meditate on a vast space of nothingness all around you. Do this in complete silence. Just imagine that you are somewhere way out in the universe. And for billions of miles in all directions, there is emptiness. Put on an eye mask and earplugs if necessary. So you don't see or hear anything. This spacious space is always available inside of all of us. If you truly want to awaken the spiritual experience in your life, I invite you to dive into this spacious, silent place for as long as you can today. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and into the following morning. And we will return here Saturday, or tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern for our Reverse Aging Health Call, and Saturday, June 24, 2023, 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, eternal gratitude at all times. Be in the highest of kindness, gentleness, generosity, and humbleness with yourself at all times, no matter what is happening outside of you.